On the new Restaurant Influencers podcast, you will learn how to tell your story online and how to be found. We have teamed up with Entrepreneur Magazine, Yelp, and Toast, our primary point of sale partner, to bring you this weekly video series. Please subscribe so you do not miss an episode. And if you'd like to learn more about the show, visit us at calibbq.media. Welcome to Restaurant Influencers, powered by Entrepreneur and Yelp. I am your host, Sean Walchef, founder of Cali Barbecue Media. In life and in the restaurant business, we learn through lessons and stories. Today's guest is Kyle Inserra from Sabre Real Estate. We're going to talk about TikTok, and we're going to talk about smartphone storytelling and why it is so important for you to use your smartphone in your business to build your online brand, to help your offline brand. Kyle, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Sean. Appreciate it. Got a great setting here.
We are filming in Harlem at Lolo's Seafood Restaurant. One of the most incredible things about being in the entrepreneur space, business space, media space, is that you can make connections online. That's literally how you and I met.
Yep.
It was because of podcasting. You're the host of the National Restaurant Owners Podcast. But what I do want to talk about today, and I want the listeners and viewers to get, is at the Restaurant Consultant on TikTok.
Yeah.
So give me 2 minutes. Talk to the audience and tell them 2 minutes. If you're a restaurant owner, why do you need to be on TikTok creating content?
It's how we consume content now. Short form, entertaining, engaging, super engaging, organic. It's wide open. You know, I'm amazed every time I open the app with the potential virality of anything you put out there or something that you see. And there are careers being born on this platform. It's really to the point now where it's shocking to me if somebody's not on it. You know, it's funny to me. I always laugh when you say TikTok because I think the thing that people can't get over the most is the name, because it sounds so childish. But the reality is, Washington Post, all these major brands are on there. It's a real news outlet almost at this point. So it's a virtual no-brainer for me.
So what's important for me when we get back to smartphone storytelling is people understanding the power of creating media, of creating story, of using short form video. Can you explain to me where in your journey did you decide to go all in, essentially go into selfie mode?
So I started on the app to mess with my daughter. So it was just meant to be like, oh, well, look at us. And we would embarrass the hell out of her, and she hated it. And then little by little, I'm like, yeah, I have a creative part to me, so I'm like, this is kind of fun. And then it started turning into, well, you can teach on this. You know, people were teaching cooking, they were teaching sales, they were teaching other parts of business. And there was nobody really talking about restaurant advice. So 20 years in the restaurant business, it felt natural to me to, my overarching thing is, I was by no means the perfect restaurant owner. Right? Like, I made a lot of mistakes.
I don't think there is a perfect restaurant owner.
But I mean, I didn't follow anybody.
If not, we want to find him. Please let us know so we can interview
We're looking for him today.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I opened my first business with no business plan, no money. We had no capital to start. We had no, 6 months operating capital. We didn't have 6 days operating capital. So I learned a lot by making a lot of mistakes. So my idea was, let me get on here, talk about all the mistakes I've made, things I've learned, and just put it all out there as a way of, here's what I did, don't do this. And if I could help anybody, because, restaurant owners are sometimes one piece of information away from saving their business. So I started going down that rabbit hole little by little, and here we are.
Can you talk about commercial real estate and what you see in the commercial real estate industry as well as the restaurant industry? Back to creating short form video, and I think one of the most important things hopefully you get from this podcast is it really doesn't matter that it's called TikTok. You can remove the name of the app. Yeah. It can be Instagram, it can be Facebook, it can be Twitter, it can be LinkedIn, it can be Snapchat. All we're talking about is short form video.
Yeah.
Because we all have a smartphone in our pocket.
Right.
We have the ability to broadcast without asking for permission.
Right.
Literally, we're able to lean into our crazy. Why do so many people not want to do that in commercial real estate specifically?
They're too afraid of their image. They're trying to live up to an image of what has been portrayed in the industry for the last X amount of years. Instead of putting themselves out there as a personality. It's just ironic to me, or not even ironic, it's silly at this point that, you get judged. Let's be honest, right? You're going to be judged putting yourself out there. A lot of people don't want to do that. But you're getting judged for not being the person in the suit, not
Yeah.
being the buttoned up response to a question or to a lease or to an LOI. But when you guys go home on the weekends, you dress like me.
Correct.
I dress like me now. I talk like me now. You see me on the weekends. It's the same guy. So it's just who's really the one putting up the front here, And I think the more you put out, and I'm a testament to this. If you put out who you actually are, the more you attract your tribe, right? You put out who you actually are, and who you want to work with will start to come to you. And I don't mean just transactional business. I mean employees, coworkers will start to gravitate towards you, and you'll start to realize that there is an opportunity in you being you.
Yeah, your vibe attracts your tribe. That's something
Totally.
that has definitely been said. Lean into your crazy is something that a previous podcast guest told me, Phyllis Williams Straughter, that I talk about, because leaning into your crazy is the thing that we don't want to do. We always want to have some perfect image of who we are.
Right.
We're this barbecue brand out of San Diego, and we do everything. No, like we are who we are. Like, I'm a dad.
Yep.
I'm a husband. I'm a recovering alcoholic. These are things that I talk about
Right.
because it's important for people in the hospitality business to know, A, that you're not alone, but two, like, that's part of my crazy.
Yeah, right.
Like, that's part of my crazy, and that's what you do. One of the things that I love about your TikTok videos in particular is that you do what we talk about with Yelp. Yelp is such a powerful platform. 160 million people are on this platform. It's a free platform that restaurateurs can utilize to respond to reviews, literally online, this digital hospitality engagement. But what you're doing this on TikTok. So you have a viral video that has 500,000 views on TikTok about something that happens in the restaurant business. Can you tell us about the video, and then what your strategy is behind responding to the negative comments as well as the positive comments?
We were talking about this the other day. We were doing this challenge, and I was up against it. And my wife is like, dinner's ready. Like, oh, crap, I got to do these 3 pieces of content, to wrap up the day and stay in the challenge.
3 TikTok 33 challenges.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So 3 a day for 30 days, and I was up against it time-wise, and didn't want to cut into family time, so I went to the internet, looked up some, what are some things that people complain about in the restaurant industry. And somebody had asked, what's the deal with coming in late to a restaurant? How should I be expected to be treated? So I did, I think the video is in 11 seconds long.
Yeah, 11-second video.
And it says, basically, if we're published on our website, our social media, that we're open until 10, and you come in 9:45, you should expect to get the full treatment. You can get appetizers, entrees, desserts, extra rounds of drinks. I think that's basically word for word what
Correct.
I said. Dude, I got freaking laced
Yes.
oh my God. And it's still going on.
It's
Right
still
now, if
going
I
on.
open my phone right now, it's probably 20 comments. And it was all over the board. This guy looks like an a-hole. He's probably a jerk to work for. This is why nobody wants to work in restaurants. But I was like, hold on a second. This isn't a surprise.
Correct.
Right? You work in this business where our hours are our
Correct.
hours. And everybody knows the lunch shift is 11 to 4.
Yes.
And the dinner shift is 3:30 to close.
Correct.
Close means you close when they leave the restaurant. Then everyone slowly closes up,
Correct.
covers up the cork containers.
Well, you didn't get into the business to say that we're closing at 10 p.m. At 9:45, we're going to race the customer that's literally coming into the lot to say, no, you can't come into this restaurant.
Yeah.
We're going to punish you because of our hours of operation.
Exactly. So
We're in the hospitality business.
right. And
Literally.
you're intentionally being not hospitable.
Yes.
And I, get fired up about it because you don't have to work here, right? It's this is the policy here.
Correct.
I don't work for the post office because I don't want to deliver mail.
Correct.
I don't work in Home Depot because I don't want to do what they do. I do what I do because that's what I want to do.
Because you love doing what you do.
And then it turned into a whole conversation about, some people have no choice and they have to work there, and I just don't buy that.
Well, one of the things for me is watching you react to the videos, because on TikTok in particular, instead of just responding to a comment, you can actually create a video for the commenter.
I love that part about it.
What have you noticed by doing that, by engaging more?
Usually the person who makes that comment, they text the comment and then you can reply in video, and I don't really hear from them again after that.
Well, I mean, it's part of it's part of that moment in hospitality where you realize that there's a user, an anonymous user. There's actually a person on the other side.
Yeah.
So you can say whatever you want on Twitter, you can say whatever you want on Yelp, you can say it on Facebook, you can say it on all these different platforms. But then when you, the business owner, the content creator, actually makes a position, shows your heart online, then you can actually develop a serious
Yeah.
relationship. Because now you've actually gone somewhere.
Yeah.
Someone's made an opinion, you've responded to that opinion, and most of the time those opinions get ignored.
Yep. It's interesting because you have to be careful, right? Like, you don't want to come across as somebody just harsh against everybody. So you can respond to good comments too.
Sure.
Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate the support. I love that you took my side on this or whatever. But that is without a doubt, I think, the best feature about that platform is your ability to say, hey, like, this is my opinion, or hey, we screwed this up. Yeah, would love to talk more about it with you. It's a huge opportunity for restaurants in that regard. I mean, think about it. If you could get a response from a restaurant that were, even like, to me, the local restaurateur as a kid was like a little bit of a legend, right?
Yep.
He was at the door, he knew everybody, if he could say, hey, Kyle, glad you enjoyed your chicken fingers last night, good luck in your game this week against da-da-da-da-da-da, next time you come in, soda on me. Dude, that kid is gonna be like, wow, like, you're paying attention to me? I thought you just ran this restaurant. It's a next level way to connect with your customers.
Well, it's the depth of personality.
Yeah.
Can you talk to the restaurant owner that's out there that's crushing it on Instagram or doing a great job on Facebook, that is putting up all kinds of incredible food content?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of encouragement could you give them to lean into maybe some of their staff, maybe some of who they are as a person? Why should they do that?
I'm a big fan of turning your staff into your show, right? So you have staff that will engage with your TikToks, right? and
Yes.
and maybe some won't. You can nurture the ones, and for sure, when you get one doing it, and they start to see a little bit of, hey, I recognize that girl from TikTok.
Correct.
You're gonna see the next one. So it's gonna be a little bit of a process, but then when those characters jump to life, when you come in to get your pasta, it's again a next
deeper
level.
connection.
Yeah.
It's a
Now
deeper
you know
connection.
that Sally the server just did a crazy video with this cocktail, or you were behind the scenes with how they made tonight's special. Now you're eating tonight's special. It's really cool. It's a really cool thing. I think you're already doing it, right? So you're on Facebook, you're on Instagram, you're on LinkedIn, Twitter, Snapchat. Just now have another camera here. 15 seconds.
Correct.
15 seconds. Start with 15 seconds. You can't go wrong.
So one of the things that I like to talk about as a man, as a husband, as a father, as a business owner, we don't talk about it a lot, but it's having help, asking for help, having coaches, having mentors. Who's your coach or your mentor in your life? Who inspires you to be better?
My wife, to be honest. She will not let me off the hook for anything. She will tell me to take TikToks down. She will.
How many TikToks has she told you to take down?
Like 90% of them. But you know what? Now I've encouraged her we're on our own, because she's entertaining. She just doesn't know it yet. I mean, she's
She's fantastic.
She's
And then, I mean, to your point, what you said earlier, some of my favorite videos are you interacting with your wife
totally.
or your daughter.
Yeah, and I have so many on my phone that I can't post. You can't post that. Now everything is, you can't post that.
Yes.
But it is, it's like you said, those are my most engaging, and people want to see that you're a real person.
Yeah.
I'm not just out there yelling at you that you should be able to sit down in the restaurant at 9:45.
Correct.
And to your point earlier about who you are, it's like, like I said, not the perfect restaurant owner. I've burned through partnerships. I've gotten fired by partners at restaurants. I've left money on the table. I've passed on opportunities that are now, huge, would have been huge for me. But you learn and you move, and you couple that with, hey, you have a French Bulldog? Oh, hey, your wife is this, or hey, you guys traveled here, or you eat at this restaurant. It gives them a full picture. And now when they meet you, they already know you.
Correct.
It's a huge advantage.
Yeah, I mean, I love that you shared that, and I think that's what's so important for people to know. And, in the hero's journey, we always talk about, having the courage to jump off the cliff and to start the business, or the success that came further on down the line. But it's the vulnerability. It's where do we mess up, the things that we did wrong. And when you create content letting people know that, we fail too. We fail all the time. And the more that we can share how we failed, that's how you can actually develop a deep connection with anybody, not just online, but in real life.
It's and this is of all, you and I share, influencer stories all the time, but the Gary Vee story where he relates the content piece to the last scene of 8 Mile.
Yes.
And when he, Eminem goes first in that battle, it's a rap battle scene, and he says basically everything that he knows. Rap battle, your job is to tear the guy down. He says everything that the guy is going to say.
Correct.
And then when it's the guy's turn, he's got no shot.
Nothing.
He doesn't know what else to say. So I keep that in mind a lot, because especially when it comes to creating content, What are you going to say about me that I don't
Correct.
that I haven't already said? There's literally nothing. So that's a very freeing place to be. I think that's why we're both sitting here now, because I know you're in the same place too.
So, somebody that's listening to this, what's your words of encouragement, words of advice for them to literally stop listening to the podcast and pull out their smartphone and start and record their first video that they can use not just on TikTok, but on Instagram Reels, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Snapchat? Well, give them some advice, give them some encouragement.
Is that it's about at-bats. It's not about perfection. It's literally making 15 TikToks and throwing them up there and seeing, why did this one get 800 views and why did this one get 8? Figuring it out. TikTok does not punish you for at-bats. And everybody, it's the Kardashian effect. They like to see you mess up.
Yep.
They like to see you have a funny moment. They like to see you drink something and spill it on your shirt, or your dog pees on the carpet. It's a connection, and that stuff is content. So yeah, just go for it. It's at bats. It's hitting off a tee. It's going to the driving range, and then next thing you know, you're playing pro ball.
I love that. Anybody that's listening to this, we're looking for people that are taking at bats on any online platform. So whether they're podcasting, whether they're blogging, whether they're killing it on TikTok, on YouTube, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, it doesn't matter the platform. If they're making an impact in the hospitality business, we want to share their story. So reach out to us, Sean at CaliBBQ.media. You can always reach out at Sean P. Walchef on any of the social platforms, especially TikTok. Kyle, how can people find you?
At Kyle and Sarah on Instagram, or at The Restaurant Consultant on TikTok. It's probably the best way.
We appreciate you. Thank you guys for listening. We will catch you next week.
Thanks, dude.
Boom.
That's it. Done.
Hey guys, it's Sean, host of the Restaurant Influencers podcasts and owner of Cali Barbecue. We have been using Yelp since we opened in 2008 to share our story, but more importantly, respond to reviews and to claim our business page. If you go to Yelp for restaurants, you can Google that. It will take you to a page and a suite of services that help you better manage your business. Recently, I was looking at our website analytics for our brand, and I found out the number one social media site that is referring traffic to our business is actually Yelp. It's not TikTok, it's not Facebook, it's not Instagram. We believe in smartphone storytelling, which is why we put on this podcast. But Yelp is such a powerful platform to help share the brand story of your business and actually convert those people that are searching online into actual paid customers. So check out Yelp for restaurants and be sure to tune in to the next week's show. Thanks.